Welcome, everybody, to the Orion Drift VRML Season 1 debut broadcast. My name's Nightfire with 2 E's. I am joined by my co-caster, Ebro. Ebro, how are you feeling today? It's the start of a lot of excitement for EU.
Yeah, sorry. It feels great, you know. It's been a long summer. Everyone's been preparing. We've had Pioneer Cup, we've had Ignition Cup, we've had a bit of time between that. We had, VRML Con, loads of action now, and now we're in the actual Season 1. Teams have been hyped. I'm just so ready for this.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting stuff. We appreciate everyone tuning in, hanging out, and getting into our very first broadcast of the Orion Drift season. There's so many other names that come to mind when I think of VRML. We have other leagues that have been announced that are starting. You can find all those details on one of the most recent videos posted right here on this channel. So do subscribe. If you are new and you're just tuning in, please subscribe to the VRML network. It is a network of not just Orion Drift, but a bunch of other EU games that we broadcast, and we really do appreciate it if you tune in and check out other content that we make. But it's here. It's Season 1, and I mean, let's talk about these two squads, right? IVEU, BBaD, both with some familiar faces. If you do recognize them from squads like Acer EU and Breachers, and obviously IVI, a brand that we're familiar with, Ebro.
Oh, definitely. I think first things first about Ivy is, they won both in the EU region, both tournaments, and I think BBaD as well. If you know them from Echo, they're quite a known team, and I think it's quite fun to see these two teams match up in the first week. And I think it will be quite an interesting game. Back to Ivy, though, is the main point I want to say, though. This is the team to beat, and I think BBaD getting them for the first matchup of the season, there's definitely going to be a lot of pressure on them to definitely show that they can do something against Ivy. And for Ivy as well to have a lot of pressure, because every team is looking at them to see how well they're going to do, see if there's any other team in the entire region to even have a chance to be against them.
Yeah, I really do look forward to seeing again how this squad is going to go up against this powerhouse. When we look at the connoisseur votes, if you are just tuning in, is a system that we have embedded into the VRML website. You can vote on who you think is going to win or lose. You hit the star on who you think is going to win, and your record of voting is tracked personally. And so at the end of a season, we have sometimes giveaways for the top connoisseurs of people that have guessed the most amount of wins in a season and have the highest percentage. Again, it's a lot of fun. We do recommend you check it out, but the connoisseurs, Ebro, definitely going to IVEU this afternoon. So BBaD, the underdogs of the day, and I'm very excited to see how this shakes up. We do have both teams in the lobby ready to go, and I do think a lot of folks at home are tuning in and ready to go for our first ever game of the. This is not the last either. I think we have 3 matches later tonight on the NA side, so a lot of games, and we may very well jump into another match after this one. So again, there's a lot of possibility with how things work here in the VRML and how the servers work and how we have right now multiple games being played. We're just tuning in to IVI-EU versus BBaD, and a shout out to everyone else that's stopping by here this afternoon. Let's go down and give them the ready up as we do see the squads all huddled around in a IVU giving a little cheer, Ebro, beforehand. It's got to be exciting to start the season. Finally, I think a lot of people really waiting for this one, just like you.
Yeah, definitely. I think looking at these connoisseur votes, it's heavily, voted towards Ivy to win this. And to be fair, it's a safe bet, I think, for most people. And I think another thing factoring this is probably the mental. If you're an Ivy player looking onto this, 50 people, it says, voting for you to win. I think that's definitely got to put both a bit of confidence and a bit of pressure. And I think looking at BBaD's point of view as well, not many votes for them, which means they might put their hopes, but I think that also gives them a little underdog story for them. And I think they're really going to try, just do something at the start. Maybe the first round, try to put some early pressure on. Hopefully just try to get a quick goal to stun Ivy.
Yeah, I very much am interested in seeing how this shakes out this afternoon between these two teams. We will go ahead and give them the ready up, let them know that we are good to go for round number 1, and that they can dive in when they are ready. Folks at home, we appreciate you all tuning in, and we're excited for round 1 to kick off here when these two squads toss that ball into the center of this arena. We're starting the season.
Here we go, finally.
Here it is, round 1 of our EU season. It's IVEU on the purple side, BBaD on blue, and we are diving in to our kickoff here of the EU season, and I'm just happy to have it with you, Ebro. As a nice pickup early from the BBaD side. The shot on goal goes right past VRML, and IVEU down a point early.
Yes, Dano getting exactly what BBaD needed. But straight away, Xenos gets the ball quickly, goes from the side, trying to find some passing options maybe. Just get another goal quickly, just for Ivy.
Oh.
And yes, he does it straight away. 2 quick goals in quick succession.
Yeah, very fast there. You see the picture-in-picture. The replay is coming in on your bottom screen. These teams, I'm excited. Already off to a very early start. BBaD, I think, taking up a point. LPC with a nice bit of a juke there on the top side. The ball goes low in Orion and into the hands of Dano up top as they take their shot on. Pesky with a beautiful intercept is going to swat it away. Coffee gets their hands up, Cone, excuse me, and denies it from going down to the midfield, but Goblin's there to swat it down further.
Yes, chasing now Ivy. Gets possession of the ball in BBaD's corner. Xenos now trying to find a passing option. Cuts it into Pesky. Pesky takes a shot, scores it.
That was
beautiful play from Ivy.
Really nice 1-2 punch, and that's the passing work you expect out of a team that's been putting a lot of time in to this game. And I'm honestly seeing BBaD putting up a great back and forth themselves. I love to see the route here coming in from LPC. A nice bit of juking work, but Goblin swats the ball away, and Dano scrambles to get control with a tackle from Goblin and keeping it floating here in the corner of the Ivy zone, but not for long. Goblin quickly scoops it up, passes it over to Pesky. Pesky down to their play teammate on the bottom corner. The 1v1, a nice tackle into the midfield that denies the shot.
Yes, now, lot of possession now. Another opportunity for Ivy now as VRML gets the ball. He flies in on his own, tries to find Gloom, but instantly by down. He clears it now. Bounces off Halo, Cone gets possession. Let's see what he does with it. Loses possession, back to VRML. Lot of chaos now, but Xenos on the roof finds Pesky. Gets tackled. Back to Xenos. Lost possession for Ivy here. He's going to try to dunk it in. No, he doesn't. Goes to Goblin with a load of speed into the corner now. Who wins it? Looks like Goblin. Another opportunity for Ivy now.
You love to see the scramble for ball control here as it's spotted back to a reset. Pesky getting some boost. A pass up there to Xenos goes a little wide. That could be trouble as Dano just goes high, and the pass now over to the corner. Cone dives out of the goal. You can see the goal open for a minute there, but it's worth it. Or is it? Xenos with a big intercept. Looks for an opportunity. Mac dodges the tackle and flies up for a nice intercept. A beautiful play there to stop IVEU from putting more points on the board.
Yeah, definitely. About halfway into this first round now. VRML gets another opportunity. A lot of attacking for Ivy so far in this first game. Goblin, is he going to find the passing option?
Nice.
Shot to the bump. Gets it. Great play.
That's the teamwork that you need if you're going to be a team at the top, and I know that IVI definitely a squad that wants to make that a reality. They want to be a team at the top, and with our round 1 here coming down to the last 2 minutes, I got to wonder what BBaD's plan is to stop this momentum, because here comes Xenos. Goblin goes in for the tackle, and Mac doesn't even get tackled before that shot goes in. A nice 1-2 punch. Again, this IV squad is starting to run away with things.
Yeah, feels like BBaD. He gets past one Cone, goes wide, tackled by Goblin. He slaps it down. Goblin gets back possession for Ivy. Flying up now, goes for the long shot. Looks like that's on target, but no, just hits off the backboard. Goes into the corner now. VRML tries to get possession. Bit of chaos now, trying to figure out who has the ball currently. 2 Ivy players against Cone. Who wins? Looks like Ivy wins the ball. VRML gets tackled quickly. Goes centre field for Pesky. Tries to go on his own. Dano takes back possession. Seems like the game's slowly just trying to slow down a little bit, just to see if BBaD can try, get back just into a bit of a rhythm to try and get 1 or 2 goals back.
We've seen very little sewer movement, and here comes Goblin dodging forward, takes the shot down there, the bounce pass goes wide, and the shot follow-up from their teammates doesn't connect. Xenos picks up the ball and swats it back for a reset for Ivy. They're going to keep the pressure on. Dano dives out for the intercept. Oh, great scoop up from Xenos, and I mean, you're seeing players here that got some extreme control of the mechanics of this game. I mean, this is honestly BBaD putting up a great fight against a squad that looks very in sync right now. IVI coming out with a already 1 win on their challenge match, and now looking to get their first officially assigned season match locked in here to go 2-0 in week 1.
Yes, now into the final last seconds of this first round. Maybe I've trying to get another goal here. hits the crossbar, back to VBaD into the corner. Pressured by LPC, he gets a tackle, but it doesn't matter. VBaD gets it perfectly. Dano going for this final clear, maybe on target. Just try to get that last little consolation goal.
Oh. Gublin swats it away, and the ball's still in the air until it hits the ground. The timer continues on, and the round one here stays moving. So IVI looking to put another point on the board. We'll see if Xenos can hold it up above the ground, and that's a nice bit of ball control you're seeing here come in. That is a beautiful final point that necessarily wasn't really needed, but still a solid 6-1 victory at the end of the day in round one here for IVI. And I mean, it's what we sort of expected, I think, initially, but I'm impressed with BBaD's performance.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people going into this before BBaD will just get instantly, quickly, like Mercy 6-0. But I think, to be fair to them, I think their defense has been really good. I think maybe try get a bit more possession, see what can do, try move Ivy around when they have the ball. I think, to be fair, at the start, they got the first goal, and I think that definitely, I don't know, impacted, I would say. But it doesn't really matter, because when you got Ivy, they can just get the ball, instantly score, and then just go back very quick. We're going into our second round now. Let's see, do BBaD try change things around?
Here we go into round number 2. We appreciate everybody stopping by, hanging out, and enjoying the action this afternoon. If you are having a good time, please hit that subscription button. If you have any other sort of comments, feedback, things you'd like to see differently within the broadcast, we're also very open to that. As a nice opener here for BBaD, goes a little bit of ride. Xanos able to swat it back. LPC maintains ball control, keeps the ball in IVI's zone, and Cohen looking to do a little something here now. A nice bit of juke work up on the top floor. Maybe BBaD opening with a first shot. No, can't get through that wall.
Yeah, Ivy now straight for a clear. That could be a goal, and it is. Wow. Very long shot, 70-meter shot by Xenos.
Those ones sting.
Yeah.
Those ones sting, Ebro. Those ones hurt when you don't deny those open goals. We're surprisingly not seeing a lot of opportunity from BBaD. They're not giving a lot of open goal opportunity to IVI, which I think, again, shows how coordinated BBaD is this afternoon. Definitely a team we're going to have to keep an IVI on as Pesky swatches the ball up back into BBaD zone, and Dano should scoop it up.
Yeah, I think BBaD kind of learned a lesson, how someone stay just a little bit further back in case of those long shots happening, and I think Dano being perfectly just in position for that. Let's see, what does Goodman do with the ball now? He passes it to the side, trying to find Xenos, I think. Grabs onto it, but he gets tackled, trying to catch the ball. LPC getting possession for BBaD now. Can they try to get a goal? It's still going towards Ivy's goal, to be fair, but looks like they have possession here.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure is on, which is a nice shift. They're not really allowing IVI to set up too hard here as a nice bit of scoop up. Here comes a good offensive pressure. You see the whole team from BBaD scrambling forward. They recognize their opportunity, and a big intercept from Xenos keeps it into IVI's squad. Now the goal is open. Xenos doesn't take the too long of a shot. They're not easy to make at the end of the day. In the pass to Gublin doesn't cost him. A nice shot there for Gublin, ends up putting it in anyway. And IVI up 2-0 in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think BBaD definitely doing a little bit better from the first game, I think. But I think they can definitely possibly get another goal. Max slowly losing possession, and Pesky gets it back for Ivy. He's going to go for the long shot, and it looks like it's going in. It is. That's really got to help BBaD now. 2 long shots they've conceded. I'm sure they're going to try after chance to go.
Yeah, and you may see other goals going on in the distance. Those are the other arenas, other VRML matches being played right now. That's the beauty of something like this, is that you can see them so clearly as IVI is seeing victory clearly. Another open goal shot. Now, maybe I jinxed the likes of BBaD, as they are certainly leaving opportunities here as Gublin dives out from that initial vault, and Dano's at least on the back line, but it's a 1v2. LPC's here to try and defend, and another shot on goal. This is IVEU putting a nail in the coffin in round 2, but it's a best of 5, so there is one more to go at the end of the day.
Yeah, Ivy, you know, just the second they get their first goal, they want to go for another and another and another, and they've just mercied. That's what I'm saying. They score one, they don't care. They want another. They score a second, they don't care. They want another. It's not looking good for BBaD at the moment.
That is exactly how I'm feeling here, watching these two teams battle it out. You can see the stats being tracked, and one save coming in. All of these stats arguably subject to change. It's API metrics that we're trying to utilize to showcase, you know, if a ball gets close to the goal and is stopped by a player, that counts as a save, but that can be objective. How close to the goal is the ball? You know, there's questions like that, but they are stats that are pretty accurately tracked with goals and assists, passes that led to a shot on goal. Really cool stuff. A shout out to Dennison for making this API tracking system that we have now implemented into our assets. A shout out to Not Blue for making that happen. We're ready to get in to round 3 already, Ebro, as these two teams, well, IVI at least, looks to lock in a final round and get their second win of the VRML season. Goblin with the early joust win, and Space Raiders asleep at the wheel. The ball goes in over the head.
Yeah, I think either they just want to get this done and straight up done. You know, they just want to keep winning. They want to go into the next game, and that's what they are. That's the team they are. You know, they're very quick. They're very well possessed. BBaD, good save from mid. He might go for the long shot. LPC realizes that is a mistake. BBaD goes a bit forward. Great notice by LPC there.
That was an awesome intercept right into a shot on goal. That's high. That's not easy to do, to be able to react that quickly and put a point on the board like that. Pesky blast forward here, and a good denial from Space Raiders. A beautiful save worthy of a replay in your bottom right corner as you watch them shut that shot on goal down.
Yeah, Starkey now clearing it to BBaD, who's a bit out of position normally, as he's usually the back player. Goblin on possession now, going high, flying for the ball. Passes to Starkey, who I believe just subbed in for Xenos. BBaD to Goblin, he misplaces it. Still, BBaD still has possession. Makes a small mistake. This could be an opportunity for BBaD now. As Cone, he goes through table, goes through the middle, tries to find the pass, but bounces. Unfortunate for him and Pesky, going through sewer. So one-on-one, what's he going to do? Space Raider, he goes left, Pesky goes right. 2-1.
Yeah, it really does remind you of 1v1s in soccer, hockey, anything like that. You know, you end up having that true moment of guessing, of reading, predicting, some would say, if you're a true skilled goalie. And Goblin here not going to have to predict or read any goalie defense, just slap that ball in for an open goal shot. IVI put 2 quickly on the board and distance themselves from BBaD.
Yeah, Ivy trying to make a quick message for everyone in the region saying they don't care who they play, they're going to beat everyone. And that's another goal, it looks like, from Starkey, 4-1 up. BBaD, they really have to do something about those long shots now. It's been quite a few today that they've conceded from there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to talk about the pressure, right? Opening week of the season, your first game up against a squad that you probably recognize from the tournaments that they've been playing in leading up to this season. And, you know, it's, again, just impressive with how BBaD have been playing. I'm excited to see that we are getting the back and forth that we have been getting at the end of the day. At least they've been putting up some points on the board and ultimately putting up a pretty solid defense. This really is going to be a team that I think will be a solid contender in the higher tier of the VRML. It's just a matter of maybe them settling in a little bit, getting into their confidence a bit, because I think there's a lot of potential. Right now there's a potential for a goal. A beautiful pass to LPC. Can they cross it over to Cone? No. Goblin denies it, and Dano able to scoop it up, keeps the ball in their hands for only a moment. Pesky, is that a slap over? Oh my gosh, Space Raider says no, it's not going in, but that was from a goal-to-goal shot right there. That goes just a little bit off.
Yeah, long pass on Cone now. He goes on to nest. Tackled by Stark. Alpsy gets the ball again. He's been in this position before. Pesky, though, quick of his hands and quickly gets the ball back. This could be another 2-on, 3-on opportunity.
Oh!
Space Raiders somehow saved it, though. Wow! I was not expecting that. Fair play to him. Straight, though, back into the action we go. LPC clears it far.
Oh, it's a shot.
Chasing the ball. That could be on target.
Oh!
Very close. Ivy, they were panicking then, straight into their battle stations, running straight to the ball.
Shout out to some folks in chat saying this certainly looks a lot better than Season 0. Yeah, hey, we've made improvements. And a big shout out to Dennison again for these awesome overlay ability. The API calls the effects for goals. All of it really makes the show a lot more enjoyable, and we do appreciate their support. Look at that, the stealth work of Starkey on the back line. They didn't even know Starkey was back there. That shot goes wide. LPC, fortunately able to get there in time to deny the shot from going in, keeps the ball in their hands and actually takes a shot of their own, a long distance one that bounces off to the corner, and Starkey keeps it out of their goal.
Yeah, Starkey straight back to Gubin. Gubin tries to get it to VRML. VRML reads the ball bounce perfectly, gets it to Pesky. What's he gonna do? Drops it to Starkey. Starkey sees Gubin. Gubin takes a shot. Amazing play from Ivy there. This is why they are the team to beat. One more goal, and it's another mercy, and I think BBaD there trying to think, can they do anything just to get another goal?
It would be nice to see, but I don't think it's going to do anything for their series. At this stage, 20 seconds left on the clock. No way to extend that with any artificial time. And this final goal will just lock in their victory. IVIEU stepping things up with a 3-0 out the gate. And impressive to see. You know, definitely a solid performance from that team on their opening here. And we're going to go and look for other games that are live right now and potentially jump into those to commentate on to them. So do bear with us, but we do want to quickly shout out everyone tuning in. If you are stopping by, please do subscribe. You may see new events go up for different games. We're going to try and experiment with a couple of different ways of presenting these matchups to you. For now, it's going to be maybe bite-sized. You're going to see them in not necessarily bulks in like a big one stream. You'll see the event page go up for every game that we cast. That's something we're going to try to do. So if we can jump into another game, we may pull up another event page. Right now there may actually be a 12 o'clock game that's still live, so do bear with us as we do try and sort through that on the server. But I did just want to shout everything out and appreciate everyone that did tune in. Also remind you to, if you want to, become a member of the YouTube channel. Membership will end up leading to special perks in Discord and elsewhere that I think you will all be pretty appreciative of. Obviously, for now, if you do become a member, that $5 subscription goes back to supporting the VRML production team, the casters that put in the hard work, and all of the leadership that ends up coordinating what is a cleaner show than Season 0. Again, a big shout out to the team for making it happen, and a big shout out to all of you guys for tuning in. We really do appreciate everyone stopping by, hanging out, and enjoying the action. But we are going to take a brief break, and if we do come back for another game, I will let you know. If we don't, then we will wrap up the stream. So stick around for potentially more action. My name has been Nightfire with 2 E's, my co-caster Ebro. We'll see you all in a little bit. thank you all for patiently waiting. As I've mentioned, we're experimenting with how we're going to present these matches to you, so we are going to end the stream here, but you will notice that there will be a new event page up pretty quick. It will be for Quantum Crew versus Global Dragon, and if those two teams do show up for their match, we will stream that matchup. If they don't, then maybe I'll do a Q&A for the folks that do tune in and want to ask some questions, because I do appreciate everybody stopping by, hanging out, and enjoying the action this afternoon. So, again, subscribe to the channel, go to the live section, find that next event page when it comes up, and get ready for another matchup to go live right here on the VRML network. Until then, my name's Ben, Nightfire with 2 E's, my co-caster Ebro. Stay classy. Orion Drift VRML is brought to you by Another Axiom, Helga, the esports manager. Thanks for watching VRML.